Hello, dear students of English 3. Welcome to your 11th Zoom meeting of the class. It is for me more than a pleasure to have you in this very particular Zoom meeting of the class. For today, we're going to be working on Unit 8, What's Your Neighborhood? Let's remember that we are almost getting close. We're almost getting close to our last and final partial exam. Okay. Today we're gonna be working on there is there are. Also, we're gonna be working on some practice exercise. We're gonna have a reading part. I'm gonna be explaining to you how to use there is and there are, and also the differences between there is versus there are. Also, we're gonna have some other practice exercise, and then I will be explaining to you the evaluated exercise, and at the end we're gonna be having some video tutorials related to the content. Let's take a quick look at the introductory video.
Guys, to another section of English 3. Let's go ahead and take a look at the topics we'll be covering for this lesson. So we're going to start off with a couple practice exercises based on vocabulary, and then we have another one, right definition of some of the places, of these places. Then we're gonna listen to a conversation, read and listen to the conversation about I am your new neighbor, and just pay attention to the there is and there are, one, any, and some, which is the topic of our next grammar focus. There is, there are, one, any, and some. Okay. Then of course we're gonna have a few explanations of there is, there are, how to choose. There is, there are. Also, we have some English grammar rules for that. And then we have a couple of practice exercises that are not accumulative. Okay. And then we're going to jump in right to our session exercises, which are cumulative. And these are based on there is and there are. This is our first set of exercises. Okay. Then we have a video, there is and there are, for English speaking practice. Okay. Moving on, we have a couple other videos, grammar quiz with there is and there are, and then it's there is, there are, there's and there are exercises for TEFL, TOEFL, or ESL, EFL Happy. We're gonna take a look at a snapshot about common complaints about neighbors and what are some of the complaints that we have with our own neighbors, and then we're gonna have another conversation talking about neighbors as well and our neighborhood specifically. It's pretty safe. Okay, talks about a new apartment, moving in into a new neighborhood. And that leads us to our next grammar topic, which is about quantifiers, how much and how many and how much. Okay, that takes us to quantifiers practice exercise. Well, you will be writing answers to questions about your neighborhood. After we finish this exercise, we're gonna watch a video about how much and how many. Right, and then we're gonna see a lesson about questions with how much and how many. Okay, and then of course we are going to see some English grammar of how much and how many as well. And then we have the difference. We have an image with the differences between how much and how many. Okay, and then we see many questions with many examples. Okay, and then we have just a roadmap on things that we can we can just put in our thoughts, and how, when to use how many with countable nouns and how much with uncountable nouns. Okay, that will take us to the next topic, which is a video with much versus many. What's the difference? What's the difference within how much and how many? Then we have another exercise about how much and how many. Okay, this is a session exercise. Then we have the video, how many or how much. And we're gonna end up with more videos practicing how much or how much versus how many, and then how many quantifiers with countable and uncountable nouns. That will take us to the end of our session. Thank you for your attention. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much for your attention. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna be making those practice exercise vocabulary. Okay, let's remember these are not cumulative. However, we're gonna those kind of exercise help us to improve our knowledge. We're gonna match the word and the definitions. Barbershop will definitely go with cut hair. Okay. Okay, let me have. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead. Grocery store washes and dry clothes, sells food, sells cards and paper. Area in which plays and other dramatic performances are given, makes reservation for a trip, lends books. Grocery store, I will definitely say that it's sells food. Laundromat washes and dries clothes. Library uh, lends books or short. Stationery store, area in which plays and other dramatic performances are given. Travel agency, it will definitely make reservations for a trip. Theater, this is the area where a lot of people played and other dramatic performances are given. And a stationery store is the place where you sell cards and paper. Okay, now we're gonna say it, and now we're gonna realize, we're gonna make sure if all of them are right or wrong. If you notice, all of them are really good answer. Okay, so we're gonna continue with our session, with our lessons, and we also have another practice exercise. We're going to write the definitions for these places. Let's remember practice exercises are not accumulative. Clothing store, clothing, okay, sorry for my typing. Clothing store, it's a place where you can get some clothes, some items of clothing such as t-shirt, pants, shoes, dress, sandals, etc. Okay, so and then you're going to complete the other, you're gonna complete the other places with its definitions. For one, drugstore, internet cafe, music store, post office. And here we're gonna have a listening part. We're gonna have a conversation. You're going to listen the following conversation between Jack and Mr. Date, and then related to your new neighborhood. Okay, so we're gonna play, basically we're gonna play the track and then we're gonna practice.
What's your neighborhood like? Page 50, exercise 2, conversation. I'm your new neighbor. Listen and practice.
Excuse me, I'm your new neighbor, Jack. I just moved in.
Oh, yes.
I'm looking for a grocery store. Are there any around here?
Yes, there are some on Pine Street.
Oh, good. And is there a laundromat near here?
Well, I think there's one across from the shopping center.
Thank you.
By the way, there's a barber shop in the shopping center too.
A barber shop?
Thank you very much for your time, for your listening section. So this is basically a conversation. Then you You need to practice, okay? Now I'm gonna be explaining to you the correct usage of there is and there are. For this, we're gonna be playing a track, and then you're gonna be practices. There is and there are.
Grammar focus. There is, there are. One, any, some.
Is there a laundromat near here?
Yes, there is. There's one across from the shopping center.
No, there isn't. But there's one next to the library. Are there any grocery stores around here?
Yes, there are. There are some nice stores on Pine Street.
No, there aren't. But there are some on 3rd Avenue. No, there aren't any around here.
Prepositions.
On. Next to. Near. Close to. Across from. Opposite. In front of. In back of. Behind. Between. On the corner of.
Okay, basically we have there is and there aren't, and we use those common expressions to express existence. There is we use for singular, and then a noun. Also, you can use prepositions. Also, we use that are to express existences according to plural nouns. Okay, for example, there is a flower next to the living room, right? There are some chairs in the classroom. Okay, so that is basically the correct usage of there is that are. Also in here we're gonna be working on there is versus there are. How to choose is very simple, guys. As I was mentioning to you, we use there is for singular and there are for plural. The choice between the phrases there is and there are at the beginning of a sentence is determined by the noun that follows it. Use there is when the noun is singular. There is a cat. Use there are when the noun is plural. There are two cats. There is versus there aren't. You might probably know that the choice between is versus are depends on a noun. At most sentences, the noun comes before the verb. But in sentences that begin with there is and there are, the noun comes later. There is a cat on the porch. And the sentence about cat is singular, so it requires there is. There are many opportunities to learn at this company. And the sentence about opportunities are plural, so it requires there are. Don't let the word many throw you off. Concentrate on the noun. There is singular, there are plural. There is a number versus there are a number of. There are a number of unnamed stars in our galaxy. There is a number of unnamed stars in our galaxy. It's difficult to tease out whether you should use is or are in a construction like this. The verb is being pulled toward there, number and star all at once. Here's a tip. Sentences that begin with there is, there are, a number of are almost always water than they need to be. Your best bet is to rewrite many stars in our galaxy are unnamed. But if you really can rewrite it, you'll have to make a choice. Use if you want to emphasize the group. Use is if you want to emphasize Okay, so if you really want to write it, you'll have to make a choice. Use is if you want to emphasize the group. Use is if you want to emphasize the individual members. It's the same with other collecting phrases like a variety of, there is a wide variety of flavors to choose from. There are a variety of unique destinations we can visit. There are a lot of, and use there are when you're talking about a lot of something. There are a lot of people in this elevator. There is a lot of people in this elevator. There is versus there are with a series of items. When you're making a list of things, sometimes there are sounds wrong. There are a kitchen, a living room, a bedroom, an apartment. There are sounds, but because the noun that follows it, kitchen, is singular, even though you're really talking about multiple things, a kitchen, a living room, a bedroom, it's often better to use the singular verb is in a construction like this. There is a kitchen, a living room, and a bedroom in my apartment. Some languages commenters still insist on using are in sentences like this despite the awkwardness, but actual usage is extremely mixed. Remember, if the sentence sounds awkward either way, you can always rewrite it to avoid the there is are problem altogether. Okay. And here also there is there are English grammar rules. Basically, if you're going to express existence in English, talking in singular, you just need there is plus a singular noun. There are plus a plural noun. There is could be go with uncountable noun. For example, there is a book on the desk. There are books on the desk. There is some milk in the fridge. Also, we have for negative and interrogative. There isn't plus singular noun. There isn't a pen on the table. There aren't plus plural noun. There aren't any pens here. There isn't uncountable noun. There isn't any juice in the fridge. And we have question, is there plus the plural noun? Are there plus the plural noun? Also, we have contractions. There is, there's not, there is not. There isn't, there is not. There aren't, there are not. And also we have quantifiers. How many plural noun are there? How many students are there in your class? How many days are there in February? And then we use there is and there are to say something exists. Positive sentence, we use there is for singular and there are for plural. There is one table, there are three chairs, there is one spider, there are many people, and so on. And then we have with contractions, negative and interrogative or a questions form. Okay, guys, we use how many, we use for countable nouns, and also if we want to find out the number of objects that exist, we use how many in the following form, and so on. Now we're gonna make a practice exercise. Choose whether it is either or there is or there are. Okay, so there is a police car. There are two kids. There are some cherries. There is a monkey. There is a butterfly. There are few birds. There are many flowers. There are three children. And then we submit, and then we're going to get to know if they're good or bad. All of them are correct. Okay. Also, we're gonna have another practice exercise. You're gonna choose whether it is either there isn't or there aren't, negative contraction. There isn't a camel. There aren't any birds. There isn't any milk. There, there isn't a chair. There aren't any cars. There aren't crocodiles. There isn't an apple. There aren't dinosaurs, and there isn't any wine. There isn't a ghost. and then we're going to submit, and all of them are really good ones. Okay, there you have. Also, guys, we're gonna have an evaluated exercise. We're going to look at the picture and then we're going to complete. This exercise goes for 3 points. You will also have 2 attempts. If you fail in the first one, you're going to have the second chance to make it better. Also, you're going to have the second evaluated exercise. You're going to select the correct answer, and this exercise goes for 2 points. And then you're also going to have 2 attempts. If you fail in the first one, you're going to have the second one to make it better. And here we're gonna take a quick look at this video tutorial. There is and there are.
Conversation practice. English speaking practice. There is and there are. There is a glass on the table. Where? On the table. There is a new supermarket in town. Where is it? On First Street. There isn't a cloud in the sky. It's a perfect day. It sure is. Is there a shuttle bus coming? I think so. That's good. There are presents here. Who are they for? I don't know. There are shorts and socks in the suitcase. Okay, I see them. Good. There are kids in the park. What are they doing? They are playing. Are there more dishes? No, that's it. Oh, good. Okay, now it's your turn. There's a glass on the table. Where? There's a new supermarket in town. Where is it? There's not a cloud in the sky. It's a perfect day. Is there a shuttle bus coming? I think so. There are presents here. What are they for? There are shorts and socks in the suitcase. Okay, I see them. There are kids in the park. Dishes. That's it. Okay, great job. And please don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye.
Okay, guys, thank you very much for your attention. Also, you're gonna have another video tutorial related to there is, there are. This is a grammar quiz video for you to practice how to express existence and English. And at the end, you're gonna have another video tutorial related to exercises for you to practice. There is, there's, there are, and for you to enhance your knowledge, okay? So if you do not have any question, thank you so much for your time. And it was a pleasure for me to have you in this Zoom meeting of the class. Let's remember that we have every single Zoom meeting in here and this part enlaces. So you're just basically gonna click on it and then we'll take you out to the Zoom meeting that has already been uploaded and recorded. Okay, thank you so much for your time.